Here's my ranking of all 4 Naked Gun movies. 33 1/3, The Final Insult. To be perfectly clear, I still really enjoy this movie and think it is very funny. But with this film, David Zucker, the original director, stepped away, Peter Siegel stepped in, and I think you can feel a little bit of that change. The parody is much more overtly referencing movies. The plot itself is more scattershot. We're doing a whole thing about trying to have a kid, and we're in prison, and then we're at the Oscars. And so it's just a little bit kind of too all over the place, but still a very, very funny movie. 2.5, The Smell of Fear. I actually saw this in the theater, and looking back and rewatching it, I'm just shocked that my mother took me to see this movie when I was 9 years old. Once again, still a very, very funny movie. I would just say that this one feels more dated. Like so much of the comedy and the references are tied to politics of the year 1991. Doesn't necessarily stand the test of time quite as well. But like I said, it's still very funny and quotable and everything. The new one. I went in with high expectations and I think it exceeded them. This is, I believe, the most I have laughed at a press screening in all of my years as a full-time film critic. I kept missing jokes because I was still laughing at the previous joke, and so was the rest of the theater. It is so true to the style and genre of the original films, but it has that Seth MacFarlane sprinkle on top of it, and Liam Neeson is really funny with his deadpan comedy in a way that's different from Leslie Nielsen's deadpan comedy. The Naked Gun, an all-time comedy classic that from beginning to end is just jam-packed with quotable, memorable lines and sequences. It's just a perfect example of really smart, really dumb comedy. And despite being over 35 years old and spoofing movies of that era, it's so well done that it's still hilarious regardless of whether you've seen the movies that it's spoofing or not.